Hi everyone. Today I would like to talk to you about this amazing deck, the, the Great Goddess Oracle. This card are they're oracle cards. I purchased them because I thought they were really beautifully designed. That's how that's why I usually get most of my cards if I really, really love the design and it's drawn to me and I feel like it's very unique. I will purchase them. So this deck I'm happy about. It took me a little bit of time to understand how to work them. So they're oracle cards, they're not tarot cards, but they have this the creator she and the designer worked together and collabed together to create this very unique oracle deck that I think will just surprise you. So let's get into it. So this is the deck. It's beautiful. It's black. I love black and gold. I don't know. I'm very attracted to the black and gold cards. I think they're very beautiful. Um, Here is the deck. And it's like the art has this like stamped look. See that? If you guys can see. This is the back. Look at the cards on the back. It's like a sticker, like almost like it gives that look, but it's very like clean. They look like they're actual cards on the back. But it's really creative how they did this deck. They really worked hard in creating this deck. So when you open a deck, inside is like this like really like almost like a gold like matte color gold color inside, and then of course like all of the creators cards. She has this paper um, in here to protect the deck or the book. And then you have the book. So the book is very important. In most oracle cards, most tarot cards, you use the book to read the definitions of, what the card means and get a better understanding. This book, you need that, but then there's like 60 pages right before you get into the cards. 68 pages about. I would say it's so 65 pages of information that is needed for this card and these cards to understand how to work and use these cards. So these cards are different. They're oracle cards, but I feel like they have like a tarot card like influence on how they work because each card has a particular meaning. So let me explain. So I think it's page 20. Yes, here on page 20. So if you guys have this, go to page 20 and it explains a little bit what how she uses the card, how she created the cards. Okay, so it says there are 22 cards within the deck devoted to the great goddess. So her and the illustrator picked or she picked these particular goddess, and if you read this book you'll see the list and why. Where's the list? The list of goddess that she picks is over here. The great goddess. See that? Sorry, my phone is making noise. It's just a lot of information going on. I'm getting a lot of text messages, so excuse that beeping. So the great goddess here, an electric gathering. So each goddess goes in its own category. So I will talk to you about that in a second, but if you want to read more about that, that's on page 26. So definitely start reading page 26, start reading page 20, and it goes into more in depth on how to use these cards properly. So each of these cards depicts the great goddess, depicts a goddess and their energy and power. Each goddess appears twice, once with a message for you, and the second with a calling to her. Okay, so I will explain from my understanding what that means. This book is pretty informative. It has a lot of information in the book. This is the author. This is the illustrator. Um, I really like it. It's a nice book. Beautiful, soft, matte, black with gold stamped lettering and designs. I think it's quite beautiful. So that's that. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the deck. I opened the cards because I was curious. I was curious on um, what, how to use this deck, because when I first like pulled it out, of course you're just pulling it out and you're shuffling it to get a better understanding on the cards itself, and to see how your readings will go without reading the book. That's what I do a lot, I notice. But this one, you do need to read the book, and it's important so you can understand, because I was so confused. And this deck, it's like a teaching. You have to teach yourself how to use this deck, and I kind of like and I appreciate the time and effort and the creativity that the author and the illustrator put into making this deck what it is. So let's get started. So this is the back, and it's a matte black with gold stamp lettering. Gold stamp design. I love the black on gold. Again, I said that already, but I really, really appreciate the black on gold. I think it's just beautiful, It just gives a beautiful feel to the cards. And look at the design. Look at the design of how all the details that they put into this card, these cards. And they're not in order, and I'm not going to put them in order, but I will show you the cards that, every card has, there's, I don't know how many goddess, but there's 2 cards for each goddess. So it's beautiful. Okay, so let me explain something to you in just a minute. Okay, so let me talk to you about these cards. So I'm going to find a card that has the same 2 cards with the same character, goddess on here. Okay, so for example, I'll use these 2 here. And then there's also these 2. Okay, so, and then we're going to do the flip through after, just so I can explain to you a few things. But before we get into this, I'm also going to talk to you about different, what is it, crone? Okay, so I know it's a little crazy today, so explaining these cards. Okay, so I'm kind of excited because I figured it out. I was a little confused at first, but I finally got an understanding on how these cards worked. So I just want to explain to you a little bit on how I understand how these cards work, based on what I've skimmed through in the book. But you do have to read the book, okay? So just to let you know, okay, this book is important. It gives you all the information you need in order to use the deck. So these cards, like the author said, there's 2 cards, 2 goddess. There's actually, I'm sorry, 2 cards for 1 goddess. So one card is the, let's see what it says again. One card is the, let's do this. One card is the message for you, and the second card is with a calling for her. So the message for you and a calling for her. So I believe this card will be the message for you, and this card will be the calling card. And if you notice that, if you read and you can see the card, you have the Lady of the 9 Flowers. That is her name. This is what she represents. This is card 1. This says blessing. This says Maiden. This says her name, her powers, her abilities, power, rebellion, and freedom. Card 2, the invocation, Maiden. You see that? So these cards all have, a different purpose. So I believe this one is the message to you, and this one is from the goddess. Another thing that they have on these cards, each card has a different title. I would say title, but Mother, Maiden, and Crone. So on one of these pages here, it talks about, it's about cleansing your cards. Oh, here it is. Okay, so page 28 and 29, it talks about the mother, the crone. 27 mentions the maiden. This is important, okay? So the maiden is the young adult, the youth of the deck. This is gathering energy, growing and building. So this is like a learning card. It's kind of like the page card. The maiden represents a youthful person, someone that's growing and learning and building. So this is the youth card, okay? The mother, on page 28, the mother is a full moon on earth. The maiden is the youth, moon, and sky, okay? So the mother is the full moon and earth. The mother is the nurturer, that energy, nurturing energy, which is mother, as you can see right here. All right, and then you have the crone. The crone is the wise one, the oldest of the deck. The wise one, the one that has the most experiences. She's older, she's aged, she's full of wisdom. So this is the crone. So those things you have to keep in consideration when you're pulling these decks as well. So I just wanted to explain that to you. But as you can see, this book is very important. So that starts page 26. The other stuff starts page 20. So I'll start reading from page 20 all the way to page 31. So definitely read this book. It will help you understand how to work these cards. So for example, I would like you to, if you do have this deck and you were like confused like me, I would actually, to get a better understanding that helped me understand how to use this deck, is that I actually did this spread, the past, the present, and the future spread, and I used what she had here, and I actually did a reading, and it actually made sense. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I got it. I know how to use this deck. Because the first time I actually tried to use it, I was so upset. I was like, I don't understand, what the hell is this? But it takes time. You have to read the book in order to understand each card. Each card has a different purpose, a different meaning. It's really interesting how she created her own like method and her own type of oracle card, and it's really cool. I really like this. And to me, these things, like, for me, when I look at like maiden, I think the page, and the mother, I think of the queen, and the crone, I think of maybe the king card or something. So it's just like, it kind of reminds you of Terra, but it's not. It's a whole different concept, and I think it was absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna do a quick walkthrough on the cards. about this deck a little bit more. As you can see, the edges is not edged. So you can edge them whatever color you want, or you choose to edge them. The cardstock, it's like a thick cardstock. It's still flexible, but it's an oracle card, you know. It's not too thin, but it's not too thick, but it's like a nice like in between. It's like a buttery soft matte texture. And then you have the gold foil on the letters and around the edges, the borders. And the back, again, beautiful, simple, really nice. Really loved these cards. I can do a quick shuffle. I'm not the best shuffler, but I will try my best. And for you to see how they shuffle. And they shuffle pretty well. And there you go. I hope you really enjoyed seeing these cards, and they're very beautiful. Like, I always buy cards I am attracted to and I'm drawn to. And for some reason, I really do love the black and gold, or the gold on the black. And I think I might edge these in black. I think it'll look really like nice edged in black. So, alright, I hope you liked my unboxing of the Great Goddess Oracle. And I hope you take your time and understanding and going through this book and reading it and taking your time. Just take your time with this deck, and you realize that this is amazing. Like, it's beautiful, like the way all the work she put into it, and how your readings flows once you get a better understanding on how to use this deck. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.